I think for the good of the country, what we have to start pushing our leaders to think about is not waiting to gain power in January of next year, but to do something now, because the damage that's being done to our global reputation, to our economy, to the economy of the world. I mean, we're going to start seeing Asian nations running out of fuel. Fuel rationing is already happening all over the world, not here because we're a large energy producer. But, this is becoming a grave crisis, this energy crisis in many countries in the world. There will be a food and scarcity problem this year because of what Donald Trump has done. And we also have the challenge now where this lunatic, this madman, has put us in a position where Russia and Iran are basically in charge of the global economy now. They control the Strait of Hormuz. And this is not just Iran, right? I mean, Iran's most significant patron has been Russia. Yeah. And now we have Russia and Iran having, so the idea that there's kind of any easy way out of this. I mean, just today, before we came on here, Iran rejected the ceasefire proposal coming from these intermediaries because they believe they have the upper hand here, and that they are now the dominant power in the region. They've stared down the great American Satan, as they call it, and they've become they've achieved something very significant, while we have fucked up in ways that, this is, to me, the greatest fuck up by a president in all of our history, with nothing even remotely close to it. And that we're now at a point where, Iran and Russia have control over our economy and what's going to happen to the United States. How did he get us as a nation? You asked, like, where are we? Part of what our leaders need to do is we need to get out of this crisis. He can't pull out because it leaves Russia and Iran in charge of the world. We can't do a military strike because it's not necessarily going to be successful. And there's only 14% support for an escalation of the war. There's no public support for this. 28% of the country supports the war at this point. And so those two options are not easy and simple options. And so what it's going to require is a set of negotiations with our global partners and Iran that's going to be very costly for us. Iran has already said that the condition for any agreement is full reparations for everything that we've damaged. Hundreds of billions of dollars they're asking for of direct payment from the United States to Iran for any kind of ceasefire or peace agreement. So what's facing Trump, the third option, is something deeply costly to the United States, to him personally, and will be, a deep form of humiliation for him, weakening him further internationally. It's why I think that we're getting close to a point where the keys do have to be taken away from him, that he can no longer drive the car. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how we get there, but we only get there if we try, right? That's the whole point about any of these kinds of things. If we don't make an effort, if there aren't discussions going on across party and across chambers, then we won't get there, because the damage he could continue to do to us. I mean, Garrett Graff had a column today about whether Trump was getting ready to use a nuclear weapon in Iran, right? This could get worse, not better. And it's why our leaders need to be far more forceful and aggressive in trying to challenge and rein him in, as, by the way, we did successfully with ICE. Look what happened, right? I mean, we went and battled with Trump over ICE reforms. We've prevailed, at least so far, in that battle. He's clearly lost that battle. And what we keep learning is that when we fight him, we can win. So we need to do it more often across many more fronts. But I think that what's not happened yet, Stuart, is the gravity of the crisis has not really become clear in our daily discourse. And I think we're lagging a little bit about the gravity, because I think people thought it would just end. And so, but it hasn't. And in fact, there is no easy ending here. It's a lot of bad options in front of the United States. So we've got to get through this immediate crisis. And it's why Schumer and Jeffries and our national security Democrats need to really stand up here and try to help lead the nation through what is now becoming a very serious, both domestic and global crisis.
Yeah, at the heart of this, well, a lot of things are at the heart, but one is just a deep inability to respect other people, to respect Iran. I mean, I went to grad school with a lot of Iranians, and I've lived in Los Angeles, which is the second largest Iranian community outside of, I guess, the largest Iranian community outside of Iran. I mean, this is, extraordinarily impressive, entrepreneurial, educated, sophisticated, empire that they had. So we're just going to go over there and just tell them what to do. You know, Donald Trump saying that he should pick the next leader of Iran. I mean, it's beyond childish. And you know, it really, if you step back from, I'm so glad you're talking about sort of the depth of the crisis, because, you know, if you step back from it and you had a list of how would you go about weakening America in the short term and long term, I don't really know what Donald Trump and the Republicans have done that doesn't meet these criteria. I mean, everything from, you know, we're trying to gut any scientific research. We're, you know, putting in handcuffs future biochemists, the kind of people that we should be begging to come to America. We're at war with Iran. I mean, and we have a president who's surprised about the Strait of Hormuz. Like,
I know.
Really? Dude,
nobody. He keeps saying nobody thought that this was going to work out like this.
Obviously, the guy never played Risk, you know, because, I mean, it's right there in front of you, dude. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to go to the war college. And you have, we talked about this, these Russian thugs allowed to come back in the country when they should be arrested when they step off a plane. And why are they here? They're here because they know that they can gain intelligence and use it against it. And we have now, I mean, Russia is killing Americans, trying to, and they're succeeding. They're helping with targeting. And yet, you know, this is a pro-Russian administration.
Yeah, I mean, we relaxed sanctions. We now relaxed multiple sanctions on Russia. We've relaxed the sanctions on Iran, and we've relaxed sanctions on the Venezuelan leader. So in the last 2 weeks, you know, if you're, you know, we've not only relaxed repeated sanctions on Russia, allowing them to profit from the higher oil prices, but and operate more freely in the global economy again. But we've also relaxed sanctions on their Iranian partners and their Venezuelan partners, because in both cases, and this may go back to Trump's compromise with Russia, Trump didn't actually get rid of the pro-Russian regime in Venezuela. They're still there. And he also wasn't going to get rid of the pro-Russian regime in Iran either. I mean, he sort of floated with a regime change, but then he started talking about the Maduro model, and he'll just find compliant people to take over the government like he did in Venezuela. And so all of a sudden you have Trump doing a series of things to make Russia and Iran and their allies great again, rather than what was the stated purpose, which is to weaken them.